and welcome back to the MTG Rundown. I'm Andrew.
I'm not happy, but I have stolen his identity at the moment.
Excellent. I don't know how well that's going to work for you.
Well, good news. If I fail my driving test again, it's not my fault. It's on me
there
now.
you go. Actually, driving tests in Indiana are pretty easy right now, but that's another conversation. But anyway, so yeah, we're back. Probably a shorter episode today. We're going to talk about Phyrexia All as One since everything's been released now. We know what's all coming. Give our final thoughts on that. Going to talk about the fact that Hasbro is laying off about 15% of their staff, which is roughly 1,000 employees globally, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's 1,000 people losing their job.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to kind of briefly cover, this isn't necessarily Magic related, but the fact that Wizards of the Coast did something right. And that was, well, we'll cover that in a moment. Leave you in shock, leave you in suspense there. So, yeah, so I guess first we cover the bad part of Hasbro. So they're laying off about 15% of their global employees. Now, they haven't confirmed whether it's going to be Wizards of the Coast departments, but they have said that it could affect multiple... but it's coming off of, let me see, where was that loss in sales at? I just saw it and my brain box forgot.
I'm pretty sure it's just them taking like all of the different departments that make like board games and various children's toys and just shooting them.
Yeah, probably. Out back.
Yeah. Like, hey, you only made us $1 million and we want $1.1 million, so we're just going to fire half your staff because unregulated capitalism will kill us all.
Yeah. So they said their main losses occurred in the consumer products segment of their...
Yep.
And what that's the sales of that unit were down about 26% in the fourth quarter, which shocking, not really. It's not being good, guys. But yeah, it's part the layoffs are part of a broader leadership and organizational changes. Sorry, according to the company, Hasbro's overall revenue decreased 17% in the fourth quarter and 9% throughout fiscal year 2022 compared to the same periods the previous year. Wizards of the Coast came under fire in the first days of 2023 as customers revolted against the company. Oh, okay, yeah, they're talking about the So, like, it sounds like, to me, it doesn't sound like Wizards of the Coast will be too affected by it, since it looks like they're going after like the consumer product thing as a whole, not necessarily right at Wizards. So, I'd say probably no meaningful changes.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to hear like, oh, Melissa DeTora was canned. It's going to be like unnamed office worker number 315.
Yeah, like that. They make them legally change their name to a number. That's how it works.
Yes, organizational changes, or we're not going to fire anyone who made the bad choices. We're just going to fire everyone else as punishment for that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you know what? We're going to punish you this way. We're not going to fire you. We're going to fire your entire team, especially that new one that just had a baby. Oh.
Also, good job, though. You get a $100,000 bonus this year for Christmas. Keep up the great work. Fuck capitalism.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Basically. But now we move to the good part. The Wizards of the Coast. So recently there's been a huge uproar about the open gaming license for D&D. They were coming out saying, hey guys, there's a lot of creative people making a lot of money off of this. We want some of that too. Actually, we want more than you get. Please and thank you. It was a whole mess to where they were literally coming out and saying, okay, so if you make something on our websites, we legally own it. We can use it whenever we want to. And no, we don't have to give you anything. That's literally how it was going. It's a very oversimplification of what I'm giving. There are a lot more details to it. You can actually look at some of the past posts about it on the Game Talk Network. I definitely recommend doing that. Made by Silver, my spouse. They have been going crazy about this, going into detail. But just recently, a couple days ago, Wizards of the Coast came out and said, okay, you know what? Just kidding, guys. We're getting rid of that. We're going to keep OGL 1.0. it's not going anywhere. We've heard you. And, like, I read that. It's like, we heard you. We listened. It's like, yeah, it just kind of reminds me of, like, a parent getting mad at their kid. It's like, fine, okay, we'll go to the park.
We heard you. We're listening. Please stop canceling your D&D Beyond subscriptions.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. It just... There was a very funny person on Twitter that their picture is still changed to the Wizard of the Coast logo. They're in like a cyclical hell trying to get rid of it right now. But they were making like troll posts, and they're like, "Guys, come on, stop! This isn't funny. Stop canceling your WoWs. Or not your WoWs. Wow, jeez, wrong company. I mean, same beliefs, but wrong company.
Wrong company, same problem.
Yeah, wrong company, same problem. Wow." But no, they're like, please stop canceling your D&D subscriptions. Please, it's not funny anymore. Then they were threatening that they had, like, Matt Mercer in a basement or Brennan Lee Mulligan in a basement. It was great.
Honestly, I could see just, like, a Wizard's, like, social media intern just posting, like, stop canceling subscriptions or the Mercer gets it.
Yeah. Well, no, it was so great because they were just like, be like, see, guys, we're helping. Now, are you going to really make me hurt Brennan Lee Mulligan down in my basement?
I'm eagerly awaiting to find out, like, the Wizards quarter one report, just to be like, how badly did they get hit before they had to make that statement?
I mean, honestly, it had to have been bad to the point that they literally had to walk back on the OGL. Yeah. They literally had to go no, like which this has a bunch of positives. The fact that guys, the community, the D&D community made this change happen. Let's make that very clear here, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, they don't want to lose money." That's true. They don't want to lose money. That's probably their main reason of doing this. But it's the fact that so many people were like, "Nah, we'll just back out and go play Pathfinder."
Yeah, like for all of my love of D&D, 80% of the D&D that I've played has been weird homebrew stuff.
Yeah.
Towards, like, every nerd that I've ever met that is willing to take the time to commit and sit down to play a D&D campaign will happily go, okay, I'll just pick a new game then. I already spent, a year or two learning this one. I'll just learn another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That's how, like, all my friends that I play D&D with and everything, we were like that. It's like, okay, cool. So we'll... Actually, our roommate, Timmy, is making her own. Mm-hmm. She's literally, like, she's been working so hard on this. It's actually really cool. So... Yep. But, yeah, no, it's great. It's great to see a community do that. Keep doing that. Now let's see if we can do some stuff for Magic.
I mean, hey, Wizards, thank you for giving, Kobold Press, Paizo, and, like, 3 other companies all of the free PR in the world. Cause all they did was just go and, like, hey, we're not changing anything. We sold out of Pathfinder books.
Yeah.
They just tweeted one thing. We're just going to leave our stuff the same. Sold out.
That's great. I love that. That's all it took. Yep. That's literally all it took.
It's the flesh and blood thing where it's like, hey, you see that thing Wizards fucking up? We're not doing that.
It's like, oh. Yeah. Okay.
Well, guess time to play a new game.
Time to play a new game. That's how you do it. Yeah, no, but it's a good thing.
Wizards, we're currently heading towards an economic recession. You really don't want to piss your loyal customers off right now because they will happily drop your shit for a cheaper alternative.
Yeah, they will. Mm-hmm.
Especially when that Pathfinder core book was cheaper than the fucking D&D book.
Yeah, no, Pathfinder stuff is cheap. It's cheaper than...
Also, you could bludgeon, like, a large human to death with that rulebook. It is a hefty book.
Yeah, well, I saw the soft cover ones because we were thinking about getting those, like the tinier ones. And I'm like,
yep.
It's like a phone book almost.
Yep. It's Pathfinder Pocket Edition. That bitch isn't, like, an inch thick. What pockets are they putting that in?
Man, not in mine. I love how they call things like a pocket edition. Like, yeah, it's a pocket edition. It's like, how are you going to fit that in your pocket?
Yeah. Fucking Shaquille O'Neal couldn't palm that bitch. What the fuck? How is that a pocket edition?
It's true. It's fucking true. But yeah, right. No, so Wizards, good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good job. Keep it up. Keep doing that. Keep listening. That's the whole point. Maybe the Magic the Gathering sector of Wizards can take some notes of listening to their community. Please, I'm begging you. Listen. But anyways, I guess we should talk about the whole point of this podcast. Yep. So Phyrexia All is One. Mm-hmm. Everything has been released. We see the full set and wow. Mm-hmm. So when I saw Dominaria United, I was like, this has to be the best that they've had in a while. Mm-hmm. Then Brothers War came, and I'm like, okay, you know what? This is right up there. Mm-hmm. really like what they've done. I think the sealed type play was a little weird just because you had to play with like those older artifacts as well, and then if you pulled a Worm Coil Engine or Platinum Angel, you basically won. So that was a little weird. I think that's the only reason it gets minus for me.
Yeah.
But now we have Phyrexia all as one. My God, this set is good. I have to put this above Dominaria United of everything that I've seen so far. Because, like, I've been studying it up because, you know, I'm going to be doing sealed events and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I kind of want to have a good direction of where I'm going to, like, what I'm going to build. And there is just so much you can do with it. Honestly, like, going into, like, a sealed or, like, a limited format, I should say, you're going for a more aggro-based thing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, usually creatures are what's going to win you out most of the time. Unless there's like something really specific, like with this one, probably toxic. But I just love what they've kind of done and how it's really looking like they're setting up to go, all right, we're going to make some big changes to like the lore, which is going to affect the game as a whole. Like the whole thing with like the rumor about planeswalkers, which I'd be okay with. So what are your thoughts about this whole set?
Unfortunately, my love of it, like, I got into it very excited. Like, oh my God, this looks amazing. I'm so excited. And then the financial people ruined all of my love of it because we're not allowed to have anything good.
Yeah, I mean,
like, again, I'm excited to draft the ever-living hell out of it. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of Moto drafts because that's what I do whenever set releases. Unfortunately, I still cannot play Standard, at least in paper. But I'm split because, on one hand, I can just keep playing mono black turn guys sideways.
Yeah.
Or I can steal Happy's idea because he forgot to copyright it and play like blue green.
I mean, you're happy right now.
Yeah, that is true. Yes,
it's your idea.
Cool. Well, I might be playing like Sultai Toxic because the thought of just venerated Rot Priest sitting back and laughing as my opponent can do absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah, that's man. This set has opened up to a lot of like really fun ideas. I think for all formats right now. Standard is going to. It's going to be odd. I mean, Standard's going to be standard like always. It's going to be like 4 or 5 decks. It's whatever.
I'm mostly curious to see, like, will this finally shift us away from, like, black X decks being just across the top, always the best, or is it just everyone's going to go, oh, this just slots in, this slots in, this slots in, and others better?
I'm really hoping it opens up the variety for sure. I'm definitely hoping that it's not just going to be like, okay, every deck is running the color black.
Yep.
That is what you need to have in there because Shouldered is really good. I'm hoping with them taking a more with the toxic approach and everything like that. I definitely see something where Selesnya toxic can be a thing. Golgari toxin, Sultai, all these things. Like there are so many there's different options that can be had here. I mean, it's very reminiscent to the old Infect decks. You know, how Infect was so huge when it came out because it's like, okay, yeah, boom. And then over the years, it's like, oh, here's Boggles. Here's, here's where we can pull off all this stuff. Or Hammer Time is getting a bunch of buffs now because of the set. It's going to be nuts. And I think it's a good kind of nuts. I want to see what people do for theory crafting late days. I have a few ideas for Standard I'm going to try to run with, but I think right now, I definitely like the changes they're going with it. I love the fact that it was with some of the cards that are on there, the Dominus, how they're basically going, okay, we're going to put an enchant on a creature. And then they can get an indestructible counter or something like that. I was like, oh, wow, this is really unique. And then I thought about well, they did this before with the Magus. The Magus of the Moon, Magus of the Coffers, all that kind of deal. I like that. I like that they are going, hey, we're going to give you what you want, but we're going to make it into a creature, or we're going to make it more interactable to where you're not necessarily needing to sideboard in that enchant removal. It just seems like a bit more of a streamlined way to make the game hopefully better.
I know that again. I'm usually looking at things from Eternal formats.
Sure.
Where like, Legacy, in fact, players are already getting very excited to see like how the the Rot Priest messes with the math because they've really been needing something. That deck's been struggling for a long time.
Yeah.
Rot Priest might be the thing that lets them either move away from having to always just do like scale up, like become immenses. Their Hail Mary kill.
Yeah.
And then past that, like there's what was it, the like single blue counter target spell CMC1, like that might see an amount of like eternal play because hey, we do cast a lot of 1-drops.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like wow, all these cards that could start showing up in my format aren't going to be like, oh boy, we get to enjoy initiative again. Like they every card that I've seen people like play testing, brainstorming, theory crafting, like they're good, they're exciting, they can definitely shake things up, but they're not going to be the next like god fucking damn it, Modern Horizons broke our format.
Right.
I'm really I really want to see Wizards do that. I'm like it is great whenever a standard card breaks into like Legacy or like, oh yeah, no, that's a really damn good card for plans or whatever.
Yeah, I love when they can do that. I love when they can release a set and be like, hey, no, there are cards for every format.
Please shake up the format. Just stop doing it with like these crazy ass haymakers that are like, good luck, fucker. You answer this in 1 turn or you die.
Yeah, for sure. Or like doing like the whole like with infinity bullshit. You know, keep it with the sets that you're releasing. Don't be like. It's been such a weird year. Last year was so weird for Wizards.
I know that what is it? Was it Skrelv's Hive that just keeps pumping out the mites?
Yeah.
I've seen some weird like Death in Texas lists starting to put that in where it's like, it's just gonna sit there and just be a persistent, constant pain in the ass. Where it's like, do you take the one? Do you take the one? Do you take the one? I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, we're doing this again.
There's someone did the math. They're like, yeah, no, I might just play this against like the Mono White Initiative deck because if they play this stupid thing on turn 2 and I play this on turn 2, that means they can't turn their thing sideways or else I take the initiative. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I like this change.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have heard nothing but bad things about the initiative and Legacy. I've heard nothing but bad things.
Getting off topic now, but it is a great multiplayer mechanic. I think that like Venture into the Dungeon Initiative, etc. 4-player matches, perfectly fine.
Sure.
Works well, feels good. As soon as you turn it into a 1v1, it turns into the most miserable fucking like great. I'm gonna like if I don't have interaction, now the game just ends.
Right.
So was the Dungeoneer, which is like whenever you take the initiative, untap a creature. If you've completed the Undercity, untap all of your creatures.
Wow.
So like Lands players particularly, I heard when that deck first popped up, we're like, how the fuck do we answer that? Like, we don't play anything that does combat damage until we just Merit Lage you.
Yeah.
It's like, great, so they play that fucking thing, and then at worst they sit there for 4 or 5 turns venturing, and then they beat my fucking teeth in because they're untapping everything every turn. Jesus. And I don't play creatures. I was like, Reanimator, which is my beloved baby, has a very hard time against it because sure I can throw like a Gristle Brand at you very quickly, but if they Swords or Path or whatever their choice of removal is, and then go, and I have the initiative now, welp.
There is a similar deck, or kind of similar right now on MTGA and Historic. It's a deck that I saw the list and I decided to test out because I had like the majority of the cards. I had made like 2 uncommons. That's about it. And it's basically it's called a Rakdos combo that is using the 3-drop from oh god, what is his name? Asarak?
Oh, the Archlich.
Yeah, the Archlich. Yeah. So basically what you're doing is there's a card for the Historic Alchemy for Baldur's Gate. It's a 1/1 goblin that when it dies, you seek a creature card that's CMC 3 or less, and it perpetually gains haste, or is reduced by 1, and then you sacrifice at the end of your turn. So you do that, you pull the Asarak, so it's now 2 mana. You then have a Relic of Legends or Champions, or what is that? The Uncommon Artifact Dominator United, the one where you can tap a legendary for mana.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're basically going to full control mode. So that's the first thing. You know this is going to be a fucking thing when you have to go into full control mode. So you're basically going, okay, I'm going to play Acerak, trigger on the stack. I'm going to tap it to make a black mana. Going to pop it back to my hand. I'm going to start Maze of the Mad Mage. You basically go through Maze of the Mad Mage, building up a storm count. By constantly playing these Aceraks, you have the like Cabal Stronghold or whatever, the one from Dominaria where you sack a creature, get 2 black mana. You're building up all this spell count. And then when you get to the last step, the one where you draw 3 cards, you reveal them, and then you get to cast with them for free. Tendrils of Agony. That is the stupidity.
Oh my god.
It takes me like 10 minutes to get it all the way through. And I ended up having to put in like a grape shot in there just because I was running into the thing. I'm like, I'm either drawing my tendrils by mistake or it just happens. It's RNG, you know, nothing you can do about that. Or I just wasn't getting anything, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll put in 2 grape shots too. I'll take out a couple of the card hate stuff, put it in the sideboard, and be done with it. And man, it's really funny.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, it's just all you're doing. You can venture into this. You can just keep venturing into the dungeon too. You just keep going through it until you get to that point, and then it's like, oh, there's Tendrils of Agony. Like I'm gonna copy it 11 times. Gonna kill you now.
Well, slightly on topic, funny enough, what is it, Phyrexian Fleshgorger, I think his name is?
Yeah.
I started playing that fucker because ward pay life equal to its power.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, when your opponent's choice removal is swords, and you go, oh, that's a 14-point swing for me. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, I started, what was it? I had one match against Duel's Good Old Death and Taxes where I was like, every turn is a Crocus Gristle ran back, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, wait, top deck, wait, Fleshgorger. That's also non-legendary. It's like, bonk, bonk. And they're like, all right, swords. And I'm like, cool, you're at, what was it? At the time, they were at 6. I'm like, I'll go up to 27. I'm fine with this.
I'll go to 27 all day.
I will happily 27-6 against Death and Taxes.
That is great. Oh, my God. But no, like...
No, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, please give us more shit like that. Like, fun, good cards that can make it, like, their way into other formats. But still, like, every time I see, like, if my opponent casts a Fleshgorger, you go, damn, I got to deal with that. But it's not like, oh, great, another Phyrexian Fleshgorger.
Yeah. Like, these past 3 sets seem very, like, wildly balanced for all formats.
Yes.
Like, there are cards for every format in there, including Commander, including, you know, like, different things like that. It's not like how it was feeling before where it's like, okay, they're really pushing Commander cards here. Yep. They're giving you, like, a couple chase cards that you got to go with it and all that. I would say Dominaria United is probably still kind of close to that because everyone and their mother wants a Sheoldred.
Yeah. It's also just legendary soup.
It is, yeah, legendary. Yeah, it is definitely legendary soup, and it's not the tastiest of soups.
Needs more seasoning.
I guess really we can't really talk too much because of Phyrexia All is One. We have Himbo Luca. That's still so funny how he became completed. Like, the lore has been really good, too. Like, the story has been actually decent, which is rare for Magic story. Usually the story's terrible. Like, you probably remember this. Do you remember how the Fat Packs used to have a book with them?
Oh, I do, yes.
And how horrible the writing was?
I thought you were going to bring up the War of the Spark book.
Oh, well, that's still a travesty, but yeah.
The writing's so bad that Wizards like, yeah, we're just going to officially disavow that one.
That doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Yeah. Don't look at it, guys. Don't go look at it.
We're just going to ET that bitch buried in the desert for a few hundred years.
Yeah, they just go out in the middle of the Sahara, just dig up a hole. There's a giant hole with all the War of the Spark books in there. That's just where they've buried it. It can never hit the light of day ever again. But like, the story's been good this time around. It's been really good. I just think the dumbest moments, Luca going, "Hi, Phyrexian beasts. Yeah, no, we homies." Oh, wait.
Elish turns back like, what's their turn policy on that one?
Yeah, because even Elish Nornis is like, whoa, hang on. I wanted Vraska in Jace. I didn't want you. Like, if I had a way to cure this, I would. That just become Elish Norn just decides to become an anti-hero now. They're like, okay, you know what, screw this. I just don't want Luca, so here's the cure. Please get rid of him. I'll keep the others. You can have him back. Teferi in the corner. Nah, you're okay.
Was it someone like theory crafting it? Was it Mother of Machines? I think is the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, all right, now that Alice Storm has won, she's gonna start like her new role is like bylaw dictator. She's taken over everything now. Now she's just sitting on her like in her throne room, like writing up like ridiculously arbitrary laws.
Yeah,
in the most white way you possibly could.
Well, I view the Phyrexia and all that more like the Borg from Star Trek. I mean, it's all one collective kind of unit there that Elish Norn's just kind of like, yeah, no, they're all mine. They're going to do what I say. And it's just like that.
Start putting up, like, fucking speed limit signs and...
just because... And then you're going to see, like, different parties. Oh, man, it's just, welcome to America, the Magic of the Gathering. Oh, my God, that'd be funny. I kind of want that to happen.
Urbresk is the Tea Party.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Urbresk would be a sovereign citizen.
Yeah. Either that or just like being a libertarian or something. Tired of government control, you know? Oh, man. Then you have like Shoulder just being the capitalist bastard, you know?
Yeah. I need to double check. If I remember, like, at some point, I think like Shoulder becomes Urbresk's like underling. She's like, I don't like you, but I hate Elish Norn more, so fuck that person.
It's like,
I'm working together.
Team up.
Yep. That was if we get like the next story being like a 4v1 Praetor or no 3v1 because the Warnclicks died.
Yeah.
Praetor slap fight, please, or for that matter, give us like a 4-color Elish Norn because well, yeah, again, Warnclicks is dead, so.
Yeah, Warnclicks is dead. Like
yeah, she could not have Grain in her identity.
Yeah, I could see her pulling in a Nicol Bolas God Eternal. I could see that. I mean, she's trying to. She's trying to get everything combined. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Pop a straw on your fellow Praetors. Slurp up.
Oh man, I feel so bad because they did Urbask so dirty recently with string. It's great in my Prosper Commander deck. It's really funny in there, but it has no play anywhere else. It makes me so sad.
Cycling slightly back now around to All's One again because we did. As much as I loved the spoiler season, watching the finance half of the community like staring at these cards intently way longer, like way before they should have been released to the public, and like immediately start buying cards out in advance, feels really bad. When like, for example, we had someone come in who had just seen the Mirror Commander get spoiled, and they were super excited, like, "Oh man, Mirror Commander!" And I'm like, "Yeah, unfortunately, all the mirrors you want just doubled in price because somebody saw that a week ago when it was, you know, on a I think it was a Spanish person opening the packs and showed it off." I was like, yeah, no, that guy just came in and bought out everything because he wants to speculate and make profit on you.
That makes me so upset. Like, I'm sorry. They got to do something a little better with the spoilers and the leaks and such. Like, I honestly, if you're spoiling things, I mean, come on. Like, it's one thing to spoil things. Like, if you're part of like, if Wizards of the Coast saying, hey, I need you, you're gonna spoil these cards. You know, this is great. But like, come on, with leaks. Come on, like all the leaks are doing is just hurting everyone else.
No, there was the other one. It's the red mythic enchantment that like I think it's called All Will Be One or something.
Oh yeah.
The one of our counters. Yep, immediately was it the red terror out of the 40k commander decks, as well as there was like an uncommon. I want to say it was out of Zendikar, one of the quests.
Okay.
That also immediately, I think they. When we looked at like the percentage change, they were like 450% up because it went from like a 20-cent card to like a $5 card because all it says is like whenever a red source deals damage, put a counter on it. Yeah. Which just loops infinitely with those two enchantments. And it's like, thanks, you just turned a 20-cent uncommon into a $5 card because you want to speculate that you can make a quick buck on people who want to build a fun deck.
Yeah. Which I'll tell you right now, Commander players, don't rush to buy these cards. I would say give it a couple weeks or so after one has released, because I promise you they will go down.
It was, what was it? The I think it was, I don't remember. It was one of the mirror. I don't remember if it was original Mirrored In or Scars block, but it's the just like tap make a mirror artifact basically.
Yeah.
That thing jumped to like $15 because everyone, oh my god, 5-color mirror commander, it's gonna be so good. It's like, no, just don't buy them. Wait for the people who bought them out to start sweating and have to relist it cheaper and cheaper to not, be unable to pay a credit card bill or two.
Yeah, when people do that, it's basically like playing the lottery. It's the best way I can tell you. It's like when they see a card get leaked or spoiled and they start looking at all the interactions, they're going to go after the cards that they think that are going to go well with that, and it's going to spike up. The way you let them lose is you don't go after the cards. You wait. You patiently wait until they have no choice, just like you said. Sell them for cheaper and cheaper, and then it goes right back down to normal.
Or play them with their own game. Also, it's the Magic Finance subreddit where all these clones usually go to.
Yeah.
Somebody over the weekend went on there and said, hey, it looks like the supply of the retro foil Birds of Paradise is starting to dry up. What do you think this means? And it was kind of a little bit of bait, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the top comment was, y'all are idiots. When this post was made, there was 60 copies listed. An hour after this post, there is 10 copies.
Yeah.
Why did you all rush and panic buy this? It's like, wow, the cheapest one is now $50. Good luck selling it at $50.
Mm-hmm.
Again, thankfully, top commenter was also just like, hey, y'all realize that the reason that the supply was drying was not that like people were buying them, it's that there was only 60. Like, we can see the sales. There's only 10 of these have been sold so far. This isn't like a buyout. This is just it's a single foil of a card that has 3 different versions in the current master set.
Yeah, it's not.
Yep. So if you ever want to do that, our MTG Finance, if you happen to find a card that you think you could fuck them up on, go do it. Fuck those guys.
Just all you have to do. Hey, all it takes is a simple post going, "Hey, why is the Feign Death is looking pretty bad right now. I wonder what's going on."
Hey, I think Seance is right for a Seance is right for a buyout.
Yeah,
no, I'm not related to that guy that was paying people in Bitcoin to destroy them.
Hey, Sarah Angel's looking real good right now. I don't know what's...
Don't. That actually did happen.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
Someone pointed out that the original art Sarah Angels have been creeping up in price for a long time. So it was like every revised and fourth edition just got purchased into oblivion. Because I was like, buy it. It's the original art. And it's like, it's $1.50. Stop. You're like, look at the revised print run alone. You're not making money on this.
Oh, man. Let's do it to Raging Goblin. That'll be hilarious.
We also had that happen. Or sorry, not Raging Goblin. We had somebody who came in and was in the store when they did this. This was years and years ago, I should say, back when I first started working at the store. And he goes, as he explained, he's like, yeah, I'm from out of town. I'm in Toronto. Make sure cool. He goes, it's my goal to own every copy of Mons Goblins Raiders. So he's like, how many do you have? And I'm like, we have 12 here, 12 here too. He's like, I want all of them.
Jeez.
This dude bought 100 and something copies of a one mana goblin.
Hey, to each your own. If you want to own that one goblin and want to own every copy of it, I can't blame you on that. Good luck.
Well, what I think I told Mark about that, and Mark was like, he bought what now? I'm like, yeah, Mon's gone. Mark's like, I think we have thousands of those. We probably do. Mark's like, do we have his contact information? Because I've got a few fibros. No.
So good.
I was like, to be fair, I think they're 26 cents now, so maybe he's getting close.
Oh, man, he's on to something. Man, when you need that Mons Goblin, though, or whatever it's called, oh, man, watch out. You can only go to one guy, and he's going to sell them to you $1 a pop.
But I eagerly await the day when, someone goes onto that finance subreddit and just posts a picture of just walls and walls and walls of Mons Goblin.
I know that guy. I helped give you 100 of them.
Just all right, you want a complete set? You got to go through me now.
Well, it's kind of like Mark's thing with the Shivan Dragons.
Yeah. There's significantly fewer Shivan Dragons in existence.
True. Oh, that's so funny. Oh god. See, like my thing is like I thought it was bad for me. Like I want to collect all the Transformer ones.
Yeah.
I want to get their Shattered Glass ones and all that. Like that just seems cool for me.
Yeah.
At least I get one copy. I'm fine. I don't need like all of them. But man, some people are nuts.
Oh,
Some
yeah,
people are nuts with that.
I don't think there's a proper response to hearing somebody just deadpan go, "Yeah, I own like over 2,000 Alpha Goblins." I'm like,
Why?
what? And you go, word for word, I started buying them years ago, and I just want to get them all now. I'm like, sir?
Sorry, this is an addiction.
I mean, I was like, I guess if you're financially stable, go for it, but...
Oh, God. I don't think I don't, like, I have a hard enough time, like, when I'm working on, like, standard or commander decks, it's like, oh, okay, I need these, like, cards. I'm, like, sweating how much I'm spending on cards to begin with. But, yeah, no, I mean, hey, more power to you if you can do it. So, but yeah, I think Phyrexia 1 is good.
Yep.
I think it's a really good set. I'm definitely excited to see how it does in limited formats. I can't wait to play with it in sealed. I'm still considering, because this weekend is Star City Games Indy, and one of their main events, it's a 2-day event it is a sealed 1 event. So day 1 is a sealed, all will be 1 sealed deck thing. You make your deck. Then I think if you get 18 match points, which is 6 wins, you go to day 2 where it ends up being 2 drafts.
Okay.
It's like an $80 buy-in.
So I know that if I don't see you on Friday, but I do see you on Saturday, you scrubbed out. Got it.
Oh, well, no, it starts on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So what I'll be doing is I'll come in Friday and practice at our pre-release. And then if I decide to go do it, then I'll just go Saturday and see how I do.
Fair.
Because it's basically like we've been talking about it. It's like, okay, if I can make it to day 2, then we have to get a hotel room. Shit. That's basically what it comes down to.
I mean, you can just sleep in your car.
I mean, true. Sleeping, I can just sleep in my car in downtown Indianapolis. What could go wrong?
Yeah. You could be like the drunk woman who drove on the river.
Okay.
That happened. This state is hell.
This state is hell. God. You know, that I'll end this on one little funny story about sleeping in a car. So when we were at Star City Games New Jersey a couple weeks ago, when we got to New Jersey, it's myself, Silver, and Timmy. We just got there on Thursday night. We got there a little earlier than expected, so we needed to find a room.
Okay.
And we're looking for a room, and I was like, all right, let's see if we can find somewhere cheap enough, you know, kind of easy. Silver, deadpan look on their face, goes, just sleep in the car. I turn and look, and I'm like, I've been driving for like 14 hours. I need a bed. And I will find a bed. But the rest of that story I'll have to tell you off camera because it gets sketchy. That's for the Patreon or OnlyFans when we make it. But anyways, that's gonna be it for us, I think, on the rundown today. So this week we're probably gonna try to have multiple videos out. Like we're gonna have a box opening of one, obviously.
Yep.
I mean, you guys can expect that. Gonna try to get a couple interviews in as well, which I'm not gonna spoil what the interviews are for, but definitely want to try to get that going. We're trying to open up more on who's on the show and everything. We've been trying to do it a lot sooner, but when we started the show up, we were trying to get off and going, and now that we're starting to gain some traction, we're now at a point where it's like, okay, yeah, let's get some different people on here. Let's get some favorites here from the store. Let's, try to open it up more. Because that's been something that's been told to us, like, hey, you should really open it up more. And it's like, okay, we agree 1,000%.
Yeah, we have a wealth of fantastic people in our community that we would love to get on if the scheduling works.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. It's just it's getting the schedule to work. But I think that's what we're going to aim for. That's what we're looking at. But yeah, guys, I've been Andrew.
I am Nick, sadly not happy.
Nah, I think you're happy. Just keep the identity. It's fine. But anyways, we'll be back later this week and probably next week, or obviously next week. But have fun, guys. Enjoy Phyrexia Obi-Wan.